Two games were in Indiana, this one's in Chicago. How do you think that impacts anything, and what kind of energy are you expecting out there today?
I think, anytime you get to play at home, that's an advantage. Like, so these guys having us on the road twice, we've been lucky enough to come away with those wins. These guys getting us at their place, all the emotions going into it, for me and my team, we just try to make it about the next game. And so we try to take away all that outside noise and just focus on what's next for us in Chicago. Skies, what's next for us? It just happens to be at their place tonight.
Christy, last year when you were in Atlanta, I remember we were talking about you getting pregame jitters still before games, and I was thinking about that at your last game. Now you've won 4 in a row and you're into this. How have the pregame emotions changed for you?
Not at all. Still the exact same. It's just, you just try to think about everything that could possibly happen in the game, and try to do everything to help your players have some sort of advantage or just be prepared. You don't want them to ever go in not prepared. But once the ball goes up, that just kind of seems to go away.
Have you figured out how to use those emotions differently as you've had more games under your belt, or is it still just, I got to do my job and deal with them as they come?
Yeah, just pretty much got to do my job. Just got to have those players prepared.
The group of Caitlin, Kelsey, Alyssa, Leah have been really crucial in the last 4 games. What has impressed you, whether it's on the court, off the court, about how that group has played?
Yeah, just the basketball piece. I mean, they're really, it's really exciting to see them finding each other the way they are, their chemistry on the court, their timing. There was a lot of passes early that we just, we weren't able to finish those. And now we're ready for, those passes or the opportunities that in transition when, one time we would be running into this area when we needed to be going somewhere else, looking at the spacing, like all those things that we've been able to watch up to this point and make adjustments to. So just the timing and the chemistry, it's just really exciting to watch these guys, and the attention that all of them, that they take, it just really allows for some great opportunities for other people as well in the court.
Christy, kind of piggybacking off that, how important is the Olympic break going to be, especially because you guys didn't have a whole lot of practice time early in the season because you had so many games back to back to back to back?
Back to back to back to back. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. It's just going to be great for all of them. I mean, we'll have our 12 there who can practice, and we can work on things, spend some time doing things that we haven't been able to do that you just can't implement in a day, before you go play. So just to have that, and then, also during that break, you also get a lot of team time. You get, to spend time with each other where there's not games, so you can, do team events. We've got some things planned for them that we're really excited about.
When it comes to Temi, I know she's been back at practice for a while, so the kind of just return to play conditioning at this point for her?
Yeah, Todd giving me the thumbs up. Like, that's all I'm waiting on is Todd to give me the thumbs up. She's ready to go. She's been getting workouts in. We haven't practiced in this last, week because of the games, but she's been involved with what we've been able to do.
Coach, how would you assess Caitlin's pick and roll performance so far?
I mean, she is an incredible passer, and so the way people are guarding her, if they read her, which is double team or hard hedger, I mean, she's just gotten an understanding of what to do in those moments, whether that's back out ready, like she is just ready for that next pass. As long as in our team is really working at coming to where she can find them, and then that puts us in an advantage situation. So then we're attacking. She's just done a great job handling those situations.
I know it's only been about a month, but have you noticed a progression from the start of the season training camp to where she is now?
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, across the board for her, for our team. I mean, there's just been, we just want to keep growing every day, getting better every day.
Bounce off of that, it feels like some of her ball screens have been higher up these last couple games. Am I seeing things, or so what went into you guys deciding to do that?
Yeah, sometimes it just gives you a little bit more space to work in, and that, just according to how they're going to guard us, maybe that gives us a little more room to, flash some players up and then have the advantage attacking the basket.
Coach, can you comment on the challenge of guarding Marina Mabrey?
She's a tough one. She's talented. I mean, she is a gamer. She's going to put the ball in the hole. She's going to find a way to put the ball in the hole. She's got great size on her. So, if we have a guard on her that she feels that she can, take in the post. So, she's a challenge, and we're hopefully able to find a way to slow her down a little bit. And
do you see any similarities with the way that teams defend Marina and the way that teams defend Caitlin?
A lot of Caitlin's is with the ball in her hands. A lot of Mabry's is with the ball out of her hands. So, it's a little different. Like when the ball's in her hands, you could see some similarities because people just want to get the ball out of their hands.
Caitlin, you don't listen to music pregame, but you had your headphones in. What was that? That was an
I had to do an interview. Yeah. These wonderful people wanted to talk to me. I'm a horrible multitasker, so it was like really hard for me, but got it done.
Caitlin, since you've been in Indiana, have you gotten to know Tamika Cushings very well? Has she been a part of your
Yeah.
experience down there?
Yeah, I think Tamika has like reached out after every single game, whether it's been a win for us or a loss. And I know she's been at a few games. Obviously, she's busy and everything that she has going on too. So, been one of the most supportive people. Was there. I met her the first day that I arrived in Indianapolis. Just obviously a great resource for myself to have and everybody on our team to have. And our film room is named after her. Like the championship trophies in our locker room. So. She's like the epitome of like who we want to be, not only as basketball players, but like as people. Like she's one of the best there ever is. So, she's been nothing but supportive.
Caitlin, I'm sure you've seen the All-Star voting return. I'm curious, have you ever actually had a chance to play with Angel? And how fun do you think that could be if you both end up making the All-Star game?
A lot of hypotheticals. I think both of you would probably, or both of us would probably tell you like our focus is on definitely playing basketball. And if that works out for the both of us, great. Like it would be a lot of fun. We've never played together, so I guess I don't really know what all goes into how they select the All-Star team. I'm new to the league. I know fan vote is part of it, but there's also a lot of other criteria. It's not just fan vote. So, she's had a tremendous season, and if that was to happen, I'm sure people would love it.
Caitlin, the first two games were in Indiana, between obviously the Sky, now this one is in Chicago. How do you think the energy and electricity, quite frankly, of the crowd might be tonight?
Yeah, I think it'll be tremendous. Obviously, a little bit smaller of an arena, so a harder ticket to get. I expect that to be just a full, a whole game of just, the crowd getting into it, whether it's for the Sky, whether it's for the Fever, and I think it's just going to be a great display of women's basketball. I think you're going to see it on both ends of the floor. They're a great defensive team. The way they rebound, the best rebounding team in the league. But I think we were driving by and there's just so many lines outside of people already trying to get in. So I think people are just really excited to see this matchup and anticipate it. And obviously it's two WNBA teams right in the Midwest where I grew up, and I know how much they love women's basketball in this area. So I think people in this area are just really excited about this matchup. And you can just feel it driving up in the bus. So I think once everybody gets in the building, it'll be special.
Are you expecting a lot of black and gold out there?
Yeah, but I know ticket prices are pretty high, so I never expect that. I never expect people to pay for those. And I've seen some black and gold already, and whenever we would come to Northwestern, there's just a lot of Iowa connections here in Chicago to the University of Iowa, whether working here or whatever it is. So who knows? I guess we're gonna find out. I don't know. I can't predict the future.
How much fun are games where the crowd is so involved, so energetic for you individually? How much do you feed off of that and to play into that?
Yeah, I love it. I think that can definitely get you going as a player, and I don't know. I feel like that's kind of been the story for me over the course of the last 2 years, whether I was at Iowa or whether I'm here now. So I don't want to say it's something I'm used to because you never take these crowds for granted. And but when you hit a shot and the crowd just goes crazy, and then you can just kind of feel the energy building, and they want you to shoot another one. Maybe that's a poison at times, but it's also really fun, and I think our team feeds off of it really well. I think that's why, we've been able to start playing really well at home. We've been able to string those wins together, and it's also really good for our fans. They deserve it too. They're coming out and supporting us, especially when we maybe didn't start the season very great. They continue to show up and sell out our arena every single night. So, I love it.
But what about on the opposite end when it's you've got an opposing fan base that's feeding off of coming at the opposing team, and not just you individually, but is that fun to put into, or?
I guess I don't. I feel like we always have a lot of people cheering for us, so I'm not sure they're always totally against us at times. I guess I hope basketball is really fun. There should be people cheering for both teams. I don't think it should ever be a negative thing. I don't think as a player, I'm not looking for the crowd to be negative toward the other team. I don't think there's a place in basketball for that. I think cheer for your team. That's great. That's fantastic. But just appreciate the basketball that's on the floor because it's really good, and that's what's going to help this league grow further and further.
Is a 4-game winning streak for you personally? How have you felt? Do you feel much more comfortable, I guess, have you felt? Just kind of what's been the key in these 4 games for yourself?
Yeah, I think like confidence is like a huge thing for our team. Like when you're able to string some wins together and feel some potential of like what we're able to do, and I think you can kind of tell our chemistry is starting to work a little better with one another. We are moving the ball a lot better. We're getting side to side. We're not just making one pass and trying to attack one-on-one. I think our defense is starting to slowly improve. Our turnover numbers have gone down a little bit. So I think it's just little things, and I think when we're able to hold teams under that 80-point range, we have a really good chance of winning, but also we've been able to score in the 90-point range, which is really good for us. So I think it's just the balance as well. Like we've had multiple people in double figures over the course of this win streak, and it can't just be one player, it can't be 2 players, and then that poses a huge matchup problem for the other teams when we're playing as well. When there's multiple people as a threat, you can't really just sell out on 1 or 2 people. So I think all of that combined just provides a lot of confidence for our team.
Do you feel more comfortable just like passing reads-wise, or just like do you think that's what you've seen in these 4?
Yeah, I mean, I think my reads have definitely gotten better. I think continuing to find a way to take care of the ball a little bit better, and a lot of that is like, for myself, I think there's a difference between a good turnover and a bad turnover. So you go back and watch, and it's like it's a good pass to make, and maybe it just hit off her hands wrong and went out of bounds, or maybe the defender got a little tip on the ball or whatever it is. So I think just going back and looking at those, but I think you can tell we're a little bit more on the same page, and I think things are starting to slow down for myself a little bit too.
Last one. When you talk about that, how important is the Olympic break going to be? Because you guys really didn't have a whole lot of time to practice, and
Yeah.
now you're going to have, whether it's 3 weeks, 2 weeks,
Yeah.
however long.
Yeah.
You can just dial in. How big is that going to be?
Yeah, it'll be huge, and obviously we'll get a little break at the beginning, but then we'll have quite a bit of time to just practice and really get better at what we need to get better at. And once we come back, like those games are going to be super important for the playoff push that we're going to be able to make. And I don't want to say it's going to be like training camp, because I know it won't be like training camp, but that's probably like you get to get in there and work on things that you need to work on and go really hard and compete against one another, and really. We haven't had an opportunity to do a whole lot of that since really we were in training camp. Yeah, we've been able to practice and have some hard practices, but a lot of times like you're just going through walkthroughs preparing for your next opponent. So I think for our inexperienced group that we are, it'll be huge.